If that is turned off, the illegals will leave because they're no longer being paid to come to the United States and stay here.
Wow.
You know, guys, if there's one immigrant in this country that I could get fully on board with deporting, it has got to be Elon Musk. I mean, this dude came into our country. He built his wealth, his fame, his presence off the back of the American people. And then he just goes around shit-talking America like nobody's really done it before. And he recently went on the Rogan Experience. My guess is to try to get back in the good graces of the Trump administration after some of his government contracts started being cut. And Rogan just allows him to lie over and over and over again. And at one point, Rogan pretends like his mind is being blown by one of these lies. And it is so damn shameful that a platform as big as Rogan's doesn't do more due diligence when it comes to the information that they put out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this 4-minute clip from a 3-hour-long podcast, and we're going to go ahead and pause it along the way. The first topic they're talking about here is how these illegal immigrants were staying in fancy hotels under the Biden administration, and in how it was Donald Trump who shut that shit off. If you guys do appreciate my work and want to support the show, please do remember to subscribe.
The Trump administration cut off funding, for example, to the Roosevelt Hotel and these other hotels, saying like it's U.S. tax dollars should not be sent to have luxury hotels for illegal immigrants that American citizens can't even afford. Which obviously is the case. That's insane. That's what was happening. They were also giving out like debit cards with $10,000. So it's not just about medical care.
Okay, so let's just pause it right here. For one, I just find it really rich that somebody like Elon Musk, probably one of the largest recipients of federal dollars in this country, is going around telling lies about these so-called illegal immigrants that are mooching off of the federal system. What he is saying here is just a load of shit. He wants you to believe that there are illegal immigrants who came over the border, no checks, no nothing, and that they were given $10,000 debit cards and put up in fancy hotels. That did not happen. What did happen is we have refugees, we have asylum seekers who are eligible for some programs if they come and do things the right way. That is who he is talking about. Because America used to be the good guy. We used to put people up if they were fleeing political violence, if they were fleeing persecution, and so on and so forth. You used to be able to come to America, and we'd give you a hand up to get back on your feet. What the program Elon Musk is talking about here is a program that ended in 2024 under New York's own volition. They ended it on their own. There weren't $10,000 debit cards being handed out to these people. In fact, it was only about $3.6 million going to 2,600 immigrants, which works out to about what? $1,300, $1,400 per person. And the only reason that they were staying in these hotels is because these hotels had contracts with the federal government. What Elon Musk is suggesting here is that if we have refugees or asylum seekers who are coming into this country, well, we should just throw them on the streets. That is the worldview that Elon Musk is advocating for here. It is lie after lie after lie. It is a whole bunch of tiny little bits of information that are blown up into this caricature that does not even resemble the truth. But let's keep on going.
Yeah. The Democrats mention the medical care because they're trying to prey on people's empathy as much as possible, and then they imagine, oh wow, somebody has a desperately needed medical procedure, and shouldn't we maybe take care of them in that regard? But what they do is they divert the Medicaid funds and turn it into a slush fund for the states that goes well beyond emergency medical care. And New York and California would be bankrupt without the massive fraudulent federal payments that go to those states to pay for illegals, to create a massive financial incentive for illegals.
How would they be bankrupt because of that?
They wouldn't be able to balance their state budgets, and they can't issue currency like the Federal Reserve can.
So listen to what this dumbass is trying to say. He's saying that if California and New York and Illinois and all these other blue states, if they weren't able to lie to the federal government to get all of these Medicaid dollars, well, then the states would go broke. It is just a load of shit. And he's going to provide no evidence for this claim. He's talking about undocumented immigrants being able to receive emergency treatment if they show up at an emergency room. That type of spending in the Medicaid budget only accounts to 0.04%. That works out to about $3.8 billion. That's it. And just think about the world that Elon Musk would have you live in. We've got people who are undocumented in this country, and if they show up at the emergency room, well, we should just let them die. That is what Elon Musk is advocating for here. And just think about the system that he would want to create here. You show up at the emergency room, well, we got to verify that you're a citizen first, guys. Which means if you're in for a heart attack, if you're in for something that is very, very serious, and you got to take those extra few minutes or that extra half hour to prove that you're a citizen, well, you just might die. Even if you are a citizen. If you got to take the time to pull up your paperwork to prove that you are a citizen of the United States, you could very well die in that process. Is that really the world? Is that really the country that you want to live in? Doesn't it make a bit more sense to spend that 0.04% of Medicaid spending on emergency reimbursement? Doesn't it just make more sense to do that? It's a drop in the bucket. $3.8 billion we're talking about here. I mean, these people are foolish. Again, they've lost all of their humanity. They have lost all of their empathy, and they just want it to be a cutthroat world out there, where if you can't afford to make it on your own, then maybe you should just die. But let's keep on going.
And so their ability to balance budget is dependent upon illegals getting funding?
The scam level here is so staggering. So there are hundreds of billions of dollars of transfer payments from the federal government to the states. Those transfer payments, the states self-report what those transfer payment numbers should be. So California and New York and Illinois lie like crazy and say that these are all legitimate payments. Well, these days I think they're even admitting that they literally want hundreds of billions of dollars for illegals. But for a while there, they're trying to deny it. So you get these transfer payments for every government program you can possibly think of, and these are self-reported by the state, and at least historically there was no enforcement of California, New York, Illinois, and other states when they would lie. There was no actual enforcement to say like, hey, you're lying. These payments are fraudulent. Now under the Trump administration, the Trump administration does not want to send hundreds of billions of dollars of fraudulent payments to the states.
Again, guys, Elon Musk is just full of shit here, and he is not going to provide you any evidence at all that would make these claims true. Just to give you some perspective here, the total federal dollars that goes to a state like California for Medicaid in particular is only $119 billion. But here, Elon would have you believe that it's hundreds of billions of dollars that California is stealing from the federal government because they are lying on this paperwork so that they can fund health care for illegal immigrants. That is what Elon Musk is trying to sell you here. It is all a load of shit. There are some cases in California where state dollars fund a program for people who may not have the proper citizen status in the state of California. If the California voters want to vote on a system like that and they are using state dollars to fund that system, then they should be able to do so. We live in a federalist system which means if the state wants to try out these programs, which they are doing, which they are actually amending, I think in 2026, so new enrollees won't be able to partake in these systems. If they want to try that, they should be able to try that. And to think that all of these blue states are just lying to the federal government, he's not providing any evidence that that is the case. And when I went to fact check and look up these claims, it is all just a load of shit. There are robust systems in place that make these systems work. Elon is just lying to you to make you scared that your tax dollars are being handed out like candy to undocumented immigrants. That is the worldview that he is trying to paint for you here. Let's go ahead and watch the last of the clip here where it gets just out of this world crazy. Because, well, let's just watch it and then we will discuss.
And the reason you have the standoff is because if the hundreds of billions of dollars to create a financial incentive to have this giant magnet to attract illegals from every part of Earth to these states, if that is turned off, the illegals will leave because they're no longer being paid to come to the United States and stay here.
Wow.
And then they will lose a lot of voters. The Democratic Party will lose a lot of voters.
And they would have a very difficult job if this is kicked out of reintroducing it into a new bill.
Yes.
Especially once things start normalizing.
Yes. So, in a nutshell, the Democratic Party wants to destroy democracy by importing voters, and the Republican Party disagrees with that.
And the ruse is that if you don't accept what they're doing, then you're a threat to democracy.
Yes.
As they try to destroy democracy.
Yes.
By importing voters.
That is literally what they're doing.
And incentivizing people to only vote for them. And overwhelming the system.
Yes. And by the way, it's a strategy that, if allowed to work, would work. And in fact, has worked. California is supermajority Democrat.
These motherfuckers just need to go away. This is the great replacement theory, is what they are discussing here. Elon Musk wants you to believe that Democrats are somehow incentivizing illegal aliens with Medicaid dollars to come into the country, and then they are going to turn around and vote for Democrats because of those Medicaid dollars. Is it making a whole lot of sense to you guys? Because on the one hand, the Republican Party has been telling us that Hispanics are voting Republican. They're swinging towards Trump. They're swinging towards the conservatives. But then on the other hand, want to say that we're floating these Medicaid dollars out there to attract new illegal immigrants who, by the way, can't even vote in federal elections anyway. It is against the law for them to do so. And why would they even take that risk? Taking the risk to go out there and vote in a federal election when they know damn well that it's going to be flagged and they are going to be immediately removed from this country? I mean, come on, people. This is the great replacement theory. This is what they are discussing. There is no evidence to suggest that Democrats are somehow trying to incentivize these people, and there is no evidence to suggest that all of these people are going to vote for Democrats when they get here. Because why? Because they can't vote in federal elections, and the very few cases where they can vote on the state level, we're talking about things like school boards and other small elections like that. Again, he's not going to provide any evidence that these claims are true. They have been trying with this racist trope for years now, and it is making a resurgence at this point. And now you've got Elon Musk going on one of the most popular podcasts in the world and spreading this racist bullshit. An immigrant to this country who is literally trying to undermine our political system because he wants to get back in Trump's good graces. That is what this is all about. Elon Musk can go fuck himself. Joe Rogan can go fuck himself. And he should be absolutely ashamed of himself that he is allowing somebody like Elon Musk, who has no idea what the fuck he is talking about, to come onto his show and lie over and over and over and over again. Where? I just can't with these people. Elon Musk is one of the largest recipients of federal dollars. His companies wouldn't have been possible without the taxpayer funding many of his endeavors. And now he is going around the country shit-talking America because some of his contracts are starting to dry up under this administration because they just couldn't keep it together. That he wanted to run around and light the government on fire and then get in a fight with Donald Trump on the way out as he implied that the president of the United States was a pedophile. Again, guys, I just can't with these people. I just can't. But it's important that we look at these conversations. It's important that we push back against these conversations because these types of podcasts, Joe Rogan and his ilk, are dominating these narratives. So that's why it's important that we push back against them. That's why I take the time to cover these conversations when I feel like I can stomach it. But I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We've got to build something here on the left that pushes back against this MAGA media machine that just launders all of these lies for the conservative movement day in and day out. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. If you guys want to go a step above and beyond that and actually help me produce these videos, you can become a member right here on YouTube for as little as $3 a month, or you can head over to politiscape.substack.com where you can have my content delivered directly to your inbox every single day without the doom scrolling, without the algorithms. And the cool part about Substack is I actually own the data over there. So having you guys subscribe over there is a huge, huge deal for me. So till the next one, guys, everybody keep your chin up. We'll make it through this together, and I'll see you on the next one.